Dime qué es lo que esperas. Dime qué quieres ver.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the House of Joseph. If you're new here, I am Joseph. It's really, really lovely to be with you today, and thank you for joining us. So in today's video, I thought that it was time I broke the old foundation thing, which I've been spending all of my most recent videos just looking at foundation, because I felt it was really, really important to get skin looking as perfect as possible. Makeup is very, very similar to painting. I am an artist too. And in the same principles apply with painting as they do with makeup, that if you've got a very good canvas to work in, your painting will be superb. Whereas if you're using not such good quality canvases, or you haven't prepared it in the right way, results won't be as on point as if you did prepare your canvas properly. So that basically in a nutshell is why I've been spending such a long time on getting skin looking amazing. And I will return to skin obviously as I think up new techniques or new methods to apply maquillage to your chops, or to my chops in fact, because I can't actually reach through the camera and put makeup on you, although I'd love to do that, guys. Believe you me, I would really, really love to be able to do that for you. So I am the only one who could put makeup on myself for these videos, I guess. Is right. Shall I just, as opposed to, should I? Okay, I'll do that. So beautiful ones, today's look will be a very, very simple eyeshadow look, because it's my very first ever eyeshadow video, although I do know what I'm doing now, believe it or not. I am a professional makeup artist. I'm known as, on YouTube, I'd like to be known as the experimental makeup artist, not just a regular makeup artist, because of the techniques and methods. I like to make pastes, I like to use makeup which in ways it was never intended to be used, and just thinking outside the box, applying my techniques to then teach you guys out there to basically do what I do. So what were we talking about? That's right, what eyeshadows we're going to be doing, what sort of my very first eyeshadow tutorial today. And today I thought we'd go right back to basics and start with just one eyeshadow. So I'm going to be teaching you how to prepare your skin using one of my methods. Okay, so, and that eliminates the need for primer, powdering primer down, eyeshadow primer I'm talking about here. And we'll just use one product for that, and then we'll go in with just one eyeshadow, and I'll teach you how to get that one eyeshadow looking as good as possible. Because, shall I just show you? Okay, please, if I just show you, won't it, guys? Yes, it will. And to try and challenge myself and to make today's video a little bit more interesting for you guys out there, I thought that I would use just whatever is in this black pouch to apply makeup with. So if it's not in here, I certainly won't be going back into the other room to go and get my big bushel box, which has got all of my products in, the majority of them. So if it's not in here, we won't be using it today. Why am I doing that? Just for entertainment's sake, really, I guess, and to try and challenge myself a little bit more, and to show you that you know that if just thinking outside the box slightly, we can use anything to apply anything to anyone's face, is what I'm trying to say there, in my very, very usual waffly old way. So, and luckily, guys, there are a few brushes in here and a few powders which I will be using as my eyeshadow primer today, and I'll show you how to use those in a second. All of my other brushes are being soaked, and I always wash my brushes with detergent and an alcohol mixture. So something like isopropyl alcohol is a really, really good a good alcohol to use. Although I just use hand gel, a couple of squirts of hand gel, a couple of drops of washing up liquid, and then I do that several times. But I'll do a tutorial on how to wash your brushes one day very soon, I promise. So guys, step one would be to do everything else you would normally do to your eye area without touching the eyelids, if that makes. So do your eyebrows is basically what I'm trying to say in my usual waffly way. My eyebrows are okay, and I never do anything to my eyebrows because I am a man, and I just think my eyebrows look okay. They don't need a lot of work really. But perhaps we could just this is a black long wearing eyeliner from L'Oreal. Perhaps we could just, and can you see I'm using light feathery strokes here, and let's just wind that down, and then I'll move on to the old eyeshadow, shall we? Why not? So beautiful ones, now it's time to prime our eyelids. So just, which eye do you want me to do? I'll probably use this one because I can come in nice and close to you guys. Oh, this isn't my best eye, because can you see that eyebrow's really bushy and thick? And this is why eyebrows aren't identical. They are cousins, not twins. So, and I think that my eyebrows demonstrate that perfectly, how thick and bushy that one is. And that one looks really thin and scraggly, doesn't it? Although I just leave them as they are, because I quite like the mismatched look, or the mishmash look of this face, because it is my face at the end of the day, and I've got to live with this face every single day, haven't I? I do, guys. Poor me. So what should we use to prime our eyelids with today? Most people on YouTube do use, or in the beauty world do use concealer or a specific primer for priming eyelids with. However, we don't use that today, and we won't be using, and I don't like using concealers to prime eyelids with anyway. And in our, I'm just trying to see where that concealer ended up, because if it went under the sofa, I'll never ever get it back. But so in our bag here, we have Maybelline Superstay 24-hour Hybrid Powder Foundation. And also, I've just found this one in there, and this is a double-ended makeup foundation and concealer brush. So we'll use the that's the foundation end, and that's the concealing end, and that was in the bag too. So we'll use those two together to prime my eyelids with, shall we? Why not? And I'll explain to you why you doing this technique is much better than using concealer in a minute. And in order for you beautiful ones to recreate this look at home, I want you to go and get some water. So get your water in a bowl, preferably warm water. If cold water sends your body into physical shock like it does with me constantly, I can't even explain to you how hideous cold water, the reaction cold water has on this 50-year-old body. It's not pleasant, guys. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. So the addition of warm water as opposed to cold water into the mix makes things a lot less unpleasant, or a lot more pleasant. So and all we're going to be doing is forming a paste with the Maybelline. So just dampen down or soak your brush. Put that over there, otherwise that will end up all on my lap, and I'll end up covered in water, which isn't really the way forward. So can you see that is sopping wet? You can see that. So all I'm going to do here is just form a quick paste with the hybrid powder foundation, and because this has got silicones in it, it bonds with the skin and just provides the most perfect canvas for eyeshadow. And it's so much better than concealer, because when you apply concealer to your face, you then have to powder it down, whereas this way, as soon as this dries, it bonds with the skin and leaves a really lovely matte finish. Although this is a full cover foundation, so it will eliminate or hide all of the redness. Although, do you know what I'm trying to say? So in fact, if you don't mind, I'll do this eye today, because when I come in to do the close-up, it just makes it easier. So right, okay, so stop waffling and just put some of that on the back of the hand, just to control it. Do you know what I mean? How much we're putting onto man's eyelid. I'll come in a little bit closer for you guys so you can see what's going on. I do hope you're all okay, beautiful ones. Yeah, no, I spent ages and ages on skin, didn't I? But I firmly believe that skin is my most favourite, or found out, or getting skin to look as amazing as possible. It is my my raison d'etre, or my reason for being on YouTube. Although now I felt it was time to move away from the old skin effect, or getting skin looking as good as possible, and actually doing something other than just doing skin all the time, because I'm sure some of you out there must think I'm obsessed with skin, or get quite bored with me talking about skin. Right, okay, so that's one layer of him on there, and that will dry in a few seconds. In fact, it's already starting to dry now. And because also powder foundations come in various different shades, don't they? If you want a really strong eyeshadow look, get yourself a really pale powder foundation. If you want a more subtle one, get one that matches your skin tone a little bit closer, if that makes sense. The very pale powder foundations will act as like a white background to the eyeshadow and hence make them pop, whereas a more neutral toned or a more skin toned powder foundation will give you a far more subtle look. Does that make sense? Hope so. Why wouldn't it make sense? What am I on about? Patronising you all again, aren't I? Sorry about that, beautiful one. So what was I going to say? Something if. And if you want to go in for a second layer, guys, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So again, get your paste, make your paste rather, and just dab the excess on the back of the hand. And because, as I've already said, these are silicone based, it will also, because these are silicone based, it will offer, it basically locks eyeshadow into your skin too. It's gone in my eye. And I like to bring the concealer, the powder foundation, and use this as an under eye concealer too. So we're getting quite a lot of uses out of just one product here, aren't we, beautiful ones? Which is, shall I just cover those red things on my snuffer? They're my glass marks. Should I just do my whole face? No, I can't really, can I? Because that's not what today's tutorial is all about. So put that over there. And if your application is like mine, total rubbish, then just go in with your finger afterwards. So use your ring finger, which is the most gentle finger on your hand, and just blend away your edges. Now, can you see the difference between that eye and that eye? If I look at you straight out, straight on, so come a little bit closer, it might make life easier for you. See what I mean about it? When it dries, it bonds with the skin, not immediately, but I'm waffling, aren't I? I'm coughing now too, thanks to Mr. Fly, who, let's not even mention Mr. Fly in 2024. Should we have should we have a fly for a year this year? Let's try, shall we, please? So in other words, Mr. Fly, you don't exist anymore, although you do, and you're still in my lung. And of course, beautiful ones, doing something like forming pastes with powder foundations, silicone-based powder foundations. It's a little bit time consuming, although it's very, very well worth it, because my eyeshadow, were I to wear eyeshadow, which I don't, by the way, I don't wear colour cosmetics at all, would hold that in place all day long, and it just wouldn't budge because of the virtue of the fixing agents in this, which then transfer their properties to the eyeshadow too. So let's have a look at that one. Edges aren't perfect, but then nobody is perfect, are they, guys? So if that happens, just go in with your ring finger, and that's bone dry now, and that feels really, really silky, and also provides us with the perfect base for eyeshadow. So we've had 2 layers of Maybelline on there now, haven't we? Should I go in for a third layer, or shall I leave? No, I may as well go in for a third layer, just to show you, A, that you can build this up quite easily, and B, I personally think that the more of this you have, the stronger the eyeshadow look will be. You guys so don't have to go in for 3 layers. I don't really know why I'm going in for 3, just to demonstrate to you how good doing this technique as an eyeshadow primer is, I guess, and that I don't really know why. So that's layer number 3 about to go on. So again, just remove the excess off the back, off the brush onto the back of the hand, and focus in onto your eyelid, or the area you'll be putting the eyeshadow, obviously. And as I've already said, this stuff just builds, so you can put layer upon layer upon layer of as many layers as you want, although I would just use 1 layer if I were you, or 2 if you want a slightly stronger look. I'm only doing 3 because for demonstration purposes, or purposes even. And, you know, just bring that down. Why not, eh? Why not? We're playing with makeup today, aren't we, guys? So that's 3 layers of the Maybelline 24-Hour Hybrid Superstay Powder Foundation, which I'm using as an eyeshadow primer to apply my very first eyeshadow application, which should help you guys out there anyway. This is a very, very simple technique, but it's something that most people do overlook, and these results can make a big, big difference. So that's still pretty dry, so I'm flapping my hand now, desperately trying to get it to dry. Now it's not soaking wet, but because we use water with the silicone-based powders, it takes a little bit longer to dry, although, as I've already said, once it's bonded with the skin, then it won't budge all day, and it will hold your eyeshadow in place. So let's try and see if we can identify any areas that, just do my Miss Marple or my Murder, She Wrote, Jessica Fletcher thing, and all I'm trying to do here is identify areas which I've missed, or what's the word, edges, or trying to just go around and blend all your edges, in other words. So just finger those in. And I find it quite a good idea just to run your finger over the eyeshadow, the primed area as well, because it's not an eyeshadow primer, and it can on occasion bunch in. You may get the odd lump in it just by going over with your ring finger. Should just eliminate any of those lumps and give you the smoothest canvas possible. Right, okay, so should we move on to the eyeshadow now? Why not? And today we'll be using this shade here, and this is the Revolution Eyeshadow Palette in shades Affection or Affection, if you are affected like me, quite obviously. And so, guys, once you're applying this onto your eyelid, just go very, very slightly above your natural crease line. So just trying to build this up to make it a little bit more visible for you beautiful ones out there, because obviously the bright studio lights are sapping away the colour I'm putting onto my face. Typical, eh? Doesn't matter, does it? Right. Now's my tip, guys. Most people just do that. They just apply eyeshadow using the tips of their fingers, and then they leave it at that. And that can look really, really obvious or unnatural. Whereas if you then go in with an eyeshadow brush and just very, very gently blend around the edges, It makes a huge difference and gives you a far more professional finish. And don't worry if you remove some of the shimmer eyeshadow, because as long as we've blended up top, then you can always go in and apply a little bit more. This will give you a far more professional look though, guys. And that's my tip for today. It's very, very simple, isn't it? Although that looks really professional. And then with eyeliner, mascara, falsies and so on and so. Although I can't really see the point in just doing a really, really light natural day look if you're then going to go and slap loads and loads and loads of eyeliner, mascara and a huge pair of false eyelashes on. This is a very, very simple day look. And I'm a big fan of those sort of very, very ultra natural looks, which allow your natural beauty to shine through, as opposed to forcing your natural beauty to look like something else other than yourself, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but. And then a further tip which you could do to open your eyes up and give you a more wide awake sort of look, which most of us need at 6 AM in the morning, don't know, is we're going with, that's a very, very white sort of, it's not white, it's almost like a creamy ivory sort of shade, although it looks pure white on camera. Oh, there you are, you can see it's not white, can't you? Very, very slightly shimmery ivory sort of shade. So I'm just going to load some of that onto, and I'm not going to use my ring finger because, well, it's getting on my nerves just because all my other fingers are getting in the way. So there's, you can see that now, can't you? So again, just load that onto the back of the hand. So we're not putting so much product down, and all we do now is just go into the corner of the eye. Very, very subtle. I've just put a little bit more on. Very, very subtle indeed. Although that whole look will now just enhance what you've got, which is basically what I'm all about, is enhancing what we've got rather than creating looks which don't resemble anything like anybody on earth. And that really is personally, guys, I believe that applying eyeshadow is almost like contouring our eye areas, of just using various different colors. Some people can be really, really, really creative with eyeshadow, and I think that's brilliant. And I am an artist, obviously, too. Well, maybe not obviously, but I am an artist as well as being a makeup artist and many, many other things. What was I talking about? Right, that's right. Using eyeshadow as contouring. So that has basically just added a little bit of definition to my eye now, hasn't it? If you compare that eye to that eye, if I look straight on, a little bit closer, shall I, guys? And what you're looking for is where the eyeshadow's bunched up. Do you know what I mean? And then you can just go in with your brush and diffuse those areas away. So the bulk of the eyeshadow is actually where it's supposed to be on your eyelid, although this diffusing the upper amount or the upper areas of the eyeshadow will just give you that seamless professional look, if that makes sense. I hope it does anyway, guys. Right, so that's my tip done for today, and I think that looks pretty good, pretty professional, with just maybe a little bit of eyeliner in the corner, a very, very light application of mascara, and that's you set for the day then, my gorgeous people. And that will last all day, it will, because we've used the eyeshadow primer, the Maybelline as the eyeshadow primer. Just don't go in with 3 layers like I did, or you may run into difficulty. And then to enhance my eyes a little bit more, I would then obviously, stop saying obviously. This eyeshadow look is what I am all about, beautiful ones. It's very, very subtle, very natural, very, very quick to do, and very simple too. Although it has got a few innovations there, hasn't it? It has got the fact that I've blended the edges away around the upper area of the eyeshadow to give us a more professional look, and the fact that we use we used a powder foundation as our eyeshadow primer, which will, as I've said many, many times, that will hold the eyeshadow in place all day now. So you won't have fear of it fading throughout the day. And also, I've also said, haven't I, that if you want a stronger look, just go for a paler powder foundation, or if you want a more subtle look, go for one which closely matches your skin tone. That, my beautiful ones, is my first ever eyeshadow application, or application of eyeshadow tutorial done and dusted. Very, very simple, very quick to do, and very effective too. Shall I stop and shall I go now? Okay, thank you so much for being with me today. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Similarly, consider subscribing. Please do share my videos as well, because, you know, if we can get the message out there that there is a 50-year-old man on YouTube who uses makeup in ways it wasn't intended to be used, then the channel will grow, and it would mean a lot to me too if you wouldn't mind just sharing it. It's only hitting a couple of buttons, isn't it, guys? And the results could be phenomenal. So shall I go? Okay, I'm going to go now, guys. Thank you so much, and I love you all very, very much. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care.